AT&T connects and ode to podcasts.
Connect the alarm, change the podcast you stream. Connect the snooze, 10 more minutes to dream. Connect the shower, lather up with the news, sports talk, comedians, or movie reviews. Connect with that 3-hour philosophy show. Change the drive into work and traffic so slow. Connect the dishes to voices that glow. Thank you to the geniuses of spoken audio.
Connect the stories, change your perspective. Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I actually had one of my fans talk to me or ask me about this because they've been heavily into my podcast lately. So, balancing YouTube and like an outside job, because I know with both positions in life, like both can be very time consuming. You know, like I could definitely tell you that yes, working like an outside job and then also like, you know, treating YouTube as a job. And I mean, like once when it does get to that, so here's my thing. Once when you get to that point where you're making money on YouTube, it's a job regardless. When you start making money and you gotta do all these, like you're treating it like a job, it is a job. Okay. So you have two jobs, the, you know, day-to-day job that everybody else knows about, and then YouTube. All right. So regardless of what it is, you know, it's a 9-to-5 situation or whatever your hours are. So how do you overall balance this stuff out? Because I can tell you I have like almost 4 years. It was like maybe like 3.5, almost 4 years of experience of working at this cafe and then doing YouTube. So I can tell you, first year, gonna be stressful. I'm like, it's going to be, especially when you're a YouTuber like myself, when you're literally pushing out content like each hour. Because I'm like, before YouTube, my like work ethic with YouTube was wake up like 7 in the morning, start doing videos. Don't stop doing videos until like maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's when my family then came home. So I just kind of take like maybe a few hours to, you know, just kind of like break. And then later on that night, like when everybody else is done went to sleep, so probably around like 11 to like maybe 2-3 a.m., right back to it. So, and that's, I wouldn't say that that's like my mentality now. Like I pushed up the hour. Now it's like 11, from like 11 to whatever hour. I'll go and like, you know, stream, and then I might do some podcasts afterwards. I might do some podcast episodes, videos, comedy skits, something. So I'm overall going to work on something afterwards. And even then I'm like, I still, and that was like one of the things where I was like, that I was doing was like, even when I was like watching like TV, I still would be working on like YouTube videos and all of that. Definitely in 2015, 2016. And then I think it was May of 2016. That's when I had started working at this cafe in downtown Seattle. First week, crazy. Not even the first week, first day. Oh my God. I remember the first day, these guys had me like running around all over the place. So, because the cafe that I worked at was the busiest cafe. Like we was ringing up hundreds and hundreds of people every single day. There was the only days where you wasn't ringing up hundreds of people was like the like holiday, like, you know, like prior, before, maybe a little bit after, or, you know, like during that week, you know. But other than that, there was never a time, like if it was maybe, well, I'm trying to think of a random day. Let's say if it's like November 5th, right? There's no special days on November 5th, but it's November 5th. It's raining outside, you know, and I worked in this building. So it was like a cafe within the building. So that meant like it was like 30 something floors of people coming down to us. And it wasn't like, oh, it's only going to be, there's going to be times where they might bring in friends, family, people from out of town might come in. I remember there was one time, because there was like some like contract stuff that was going on. I was seeing there was a friend of mine's from high school that they're like literally everybody was going to this cafe. Everybody. So I'm ringing up hundreds of people every single day. And end of the day, like once in that 3 o'clock hour, because it was like from like 7 something, like 7:40. Well, we open up at 8, so from like that 8 o'clock hour all the way up until 3 o'clock, because that's when I clocked out, just non-stop working. Even when it was a slow day, we still would be figuring out some stuff. We'll be cleaning up the cafe, helping out at one of the other locations. We're doing something. So there was never a day where it was like nothing was going down. 3 o'clock hour, I'm on the bus. I am passed out asleep. Man, I'm telling you, you guys probably would have seen me on the bus and thought I was in a coma or something. Because I was like, I'm telling you, them bus naps felt good. So if you're one of those people where you're in a situation like me, where you live like out of like the main city, the main town. So let's say, for an example, if you live outside of Seattle, definitely get you a Seattle job. Them bus snaps, I'm telling you, they be feeling good some days. But anyways, then I get home. So I get home, now I gotta like get into that mentality where I'm a content creator. They ain't gonna be like me. My thing was like, I'm tired, I need to rest. I'm probably gonna take me a long nap. Might be even, I might not wake up until later on that night. So I'm like, in some situation. But me, I was a little bit different. I'm a different breed. I would go home and just depending on how I felt. Like, cause there are some days I'll come home and just work, like just get to working on some videos, right? Then there'll be some other days where I'm like, nope, I'm laying down in this bed, not taking off my clothes. I'm just gonna lay here and just relax. That's why I'm like heavy on wearing, cause my job, it required you to wear black pants. I wore black sweats because I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna, my thing is like, I'm already in some pajama-like clothes, which is some sweatpants and a hoodie. So those was like my go-to outfits, unless I was wearing a jacket because it was cold outside. So what? Just take off the jacket, throw that down somewhere. I'm laid out. I am asleep. Okay? So I'm like, bus nap wasn't enough. I'm like, nah, now I gotta go home, take a home nap and things. But anyways, being a content creator, so it really just depends on how many videos you're pushing out and what kind of stuff that you're doing. Because I know that there's at times where you're like, you might be a Twitch streamer, so you got to come home and you might, because I remember I tried doing that. I tried picking up Twitch streaming while I was working at this job. Was not happening. I needed the free time that I have now to become a Twitch streamer. Because working at that, it's like when you're working at this job, you're just running around nonstop and things. Red Bulls ain't doing nothing. Protein shakes ain't doing nothing. Coffee ain't doing nothing. There's literally nothing that's giving you energy. You can't do crack because I'm not a drug addict, so you can't do that. But so you go and you're like, and you trying to go home and then be a content creator. So that's why it's like, if you just need like some hours to just kind of like rest, that's perfectly fine. And that's what I should have been doing. But see, here's the thing. I'm a wrestling fan. So wrestling would come on at 8, won't go off until 11. I'm not going to start streaming at 11 at night. And I'm like, and then there's like them hours where I'm spending time with the family. I'm like, I got to spend time with the family. I'm like, I'm not going to be like, oh, sorry, can't, see y'all right now. Got to be a content creator. Can't tell family that. So, I mean, if that's what you want to do, you can. Hopefully they understand it. But if not, then yes, you are going to have to spend time with the fam. So there was at times where I was like, I didn't, like definitely with Twitch streaming, I didn't have enough time. And I mean, like, I guess like if I would have like planned it out but there is days where I would be like leaving work like super late. It'll be like 3:40, close to like 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock, like from Seattle to where I live, that might be like an hour commute. It's gonna be a while and things, and so it's gonna be a while before you come into work. So anyways, or like go back home, and so anyways, I'm going home and it's like what 5, 6 o'clock and things. So what, stream for like an hour? I mean, I already kind of do that. Now I stream for like 2 hours, but I'm just getting into streaming. I'm not like I'm not gonna say I'm like a streamer like everybody else. I'm like, just kind of like, I'm like dipping my hand in it, but I feel like my whole hand is like dipped in Twitch streaming right now. But anyways, but with Twitch streaming, it was like, with me, it was just like, nah, like I don't want to be like all tired and just groggy or whatever, like when I'm streaming and things. So I'm like, I need to have energy, because I remember there was a time it was actually not too long ago. I think this might have been last week, where I was streaming, but I had stayed up like pretty much the whole night, the night before, recording videos. And so it was like pretty much I put like that like old cafe work mentality where I'm running around. That's pretty much what I was doing. Like I was running around my room just coming up with all these different, recording TikTok videos, recording YouTube videos for like a bunch of different channels. Like I was going crazy with it. I woke up that like next morning tired. Red Bull wasn't doing nothing. I remember I started streaming and I drank. And I remember I drank down the whole Red Bull before I started streaming. Drank that whole mess down. I still was like I fell asleep. I was like it was like a part like I was closing my eyes a little bit. I can't remember what game I was playing, but I was closing my eyes a little bit and I was like, oh, I gotta end this stream and I gotta end it now. And I'm like, I took me a nap and that nap felt good because I was like, bruh, I'm like, nah, not right now. I'm like, maybe any other day, but not right now. So, anyways, so yeah, even it's like being at home and it's like being a content creator. So it's like that time when that time does come when you're a full-time content creator, it really just depends on what you're doing and overall, like, you know, how successful you're going to be at it and stuff. So that's why it's like, you know, you gotta find something that you're gonna be successful at, because it's like if you want to turn YouTube into a job, then you're gonna have to put in a lot of work with it and stuff. But if you know, if you just want to do YouTube just casually and you don't really care if it's like a job or not, you just want to overall just post videos, then it's like, okay, then yeah, you know, you're good. You could post like a video maybe like what, once a week or a few times a week. Or you could be a daily YouTuber, like right after you leave from work. It depends on where you work, what you're doing at that job, and the energy that you're gonna have when you come home. So if you come home and you full of energy, then you good, you straight. But if it's some job like my old job, the cafe job, then it's going, you know, you are gonna be a little bit tired and stuff. So, but yeah, with Twitch streaming, I'm like, yeah, with Twitch streaming, it's like it just really depends on how many hours. So if it's like, let's say for an example, you work like early in the morning, right? And then it's like done in that. So like my thing was like, it would have been perfect if I would have like, if my job wasn't too far from my house, but I have like, you know, the commuting hours and stuff. So then I'm like, okay, I come home and I'm tired and I'm like, okay, I can't just get, cause I remember I set a schedule for myself and everything. So when I tried to pick up Twitch streaming a few years ago, I said, I'm going to come home at 5 o'clock and I'm gonna stream because I'm like, okay, so I'm usually home before 5, so I'm like, all right, I should be good, I should be straight and things. So I come home, I'm like, I didn't even really care like how tired I was feeling and stuff. So I'll come home and then I'm like, I remember there was one time there was actually a few times, and that's why I just gave up on the Twitch streaming at the time, because I was like, I kept showing up late. So I'm telling people, okay, like 5 o'clock every single day, be there, all right? People really wasn't showing up. It's kind of like how my Twitch streams are now. People wasn't really showing up, so I was like, okay, you know what, forget it, man. Like, I am gonna really like try with this right now. It's just not my time. So so eventually I just was all like, okay. And then plus on top of that, I was like, you know, coming home tired and things. That's why I'm like, you know, get you a job where it's like, it seemed like it would be a lot better if you were to get you a job where it ain't gonna be too draining. Because that job, hands down, 100%. That's why I'm like, I wasn't, you know, when they hit, like when things had started getting better, like with this pandemic and things, and there's like overall like saying that, like with the vaccine and all, if they would have called me and asked me, do I want to like work back at that place, I have been extremely, extremely hesitant about it. Because I'm like, for one, I'm like, you know, I done picked up this YouTube and stuff. I'm like, I really don't want to, you know, get that all taken away from me again. Like, I feel like I've kind of had something maintaining that's going on here. So I'm like, hey, yo, I kind of like what I'm doing right now and stuff. But I mean, I'm not making the same amount of money, so I think that would probably been the only reason why, if I would have considered taking that job back, because I wasn't making the same amount of money. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying, guys, support my channels, like help with like, you know, a small content creator grow, because I'm like, I that's one thing that I just do not want to do is like get away from that again. I'm like, I feel like I had like, you know, I definitely went somewhere with YouTube last year, and I'm like, with this year though, I'm like, I'm really trying to, you know, go even further than what I had went last year. Like last year I reached like 20-some thousand subscribers. Or when did I reach 20,000? Was it this year? I don't remember, but I'm like, I noticed I was growing a lot last year, so I'm like, okay, I gotta do that, but like times 10 this year. So I'm like, just so I don't ever have to go back and things. So if that's what you're working for or working towards and stuff, then then, you know, like give YouTube everything that you got. Because I know definitely before this pandemic had started, I remember I told myself last year before 2020 had started, I was like, okay, we're in 2019 before, like, so towards the end of 2019, before 2020 had started, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go at it with YouTube. I really don't care if I'm feeling tired. I don't care what happens. I'm like, it might be a situation where I'm like, I might be at work. I'm not getting enough hours of sleep, I might pass out. I might honestly pass out. But you know what? At least people are knowing that I'm serious about YouTube. Well, I'm putting myself in some situation like that. And even now, I think like, okay, like there's going to probably be a night where I want to stay up, record a bunch of videos and stuff. So I gotta go crazy with it, you know. And I'm like, okay, if I wake up next morning and I'm like, I'm walking around or I'm out in public still trying to do, you know, be active and energetic and things, I pass out, all right, so be it. Because I'm like, people need to know how serious you are about this. So that's one thing for sure. Like, you know, when balancing that stuff out, being a content creator and working, you have to be serious about something. So like, and at the end of the day, I mean, you have to be you have to be serious about both, but you have to be more serious about one of the other like things. So my problem is that I was getting more serious with this job than I was with being a content creator. And that's why I was losing the motivation to be a content creator. I remember in 2019 I had almost quit. And so that's why I told myself, I'm like, I'm going to go and be as serious as I possibly can with YouTube. So I'm like, if I got to stay up in odd hours of the night, and I remember, I think that's what I was doing. I was staying up until like 1 a.m. record videos and stuff, because I'm like, nah, I need to tell people I'm very, very serious about this. So I'm like, if I'm pushing out a few videos or creating a few channels or doing something, I'm like, I'm going to do that, because I'm like, people just need to know how serious I am. So then pandemic had started. I remember they said we were only going to be like out for like a week or 2 weeks or something. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use these 2 weeks to really go at it with YouTube. 2 weeks then landed into months then landed into a whole year. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like, it's, you know, overall I got to do something now. So, but all right, you know, I just got to like, guess be more serious with YouTube. But overall, I'm like, man, it was like that, you know, balancing it out. It's like, it's gonna be hard. Like, you know, like I did this episode. It's like, I don't want you guys to think that it's gonna be easy. It is gonna be hard, especially when you're small. I guess like if you like if you play your cards right and you're driving on the right track, then everything should be okay. But I feel like with me, like I was driving backwards, but on a track where I should have been. I don't know. Overall, I just wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And yeah, I feel like that's why it did take me a while to, you know, really gain some publicity and just, you know, gain a little bit more viewership and subscribers on YouTube, because I wasn't taking it serious. So it's like, it's one thing for sure. It's like, you got to take it serious, because like if you don't, then yeah, it's like, you know, others won't take you serious, and then it's gonna probably get to a point in time where you lose the motivation and you probably ain't gonna want to do this no more. So don't do that. Don't lose the motivation. But anyways, and that being said, I really think I discussed everything I could. Like, I don't know if there's any other things that I could discuss, but yeah, if you guys do have any questions, please let me know. Just, you know, tweet me or whatever, something, comment on one of my videos, or what else? Instagram posts, Facebook posts, something, I don't know. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 32 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at TMossBoss, and then follow my Facebook page, TMossBoss fan page. And yeah, in the meantime, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.